Okay, so first stop today is 5715 Cielo Ranch, I think it was the second word. This is kind of a neighborhood view. Two-car garage. You could probably get 4 cars here in the driveway. And then I'm not 100% certain, but what I believe, this little box, this little power, I believe this is hardwired, well, quote unquote hardwired behind the wall, and then you would plug it in right there, and it's just not plugged in. It's like security system. And so this space right here is your office, and it's got the glass French doors, and then 2 windows, and pretty tall ceilings. I think they're 9 instead of 8 foot. I think there's plenty of space in here to do like a desk in the corner, and then a couch that folds out into a bed if you wanted to do dual purpose in this office and make it kind of a guest room as well. This hallway here goes to laundry. They've got 3 extra AC filters, and it has the exhaust as well as the window here. This one opens, not just a picture frame one. And it has the shelf as well as the clothing bar rack, so you can hang delicates in there. And then this little guy right here is a coat closet. Not super wide, but kind of deep. And then let me put my shoes back on for the garage really quickly. And then I can take them back off. They have a note to take off shoes or wear the booties. I'm in sandals. I feel like sandals is going to be better for the weather today, so I can just take them off real easily. Okay, so our garage is higher than most, but also it is wide, so you've got about a foot on either side of the door. You've got your rainbird irrigation. There's like some hooks and stuff. I don't know exactly what they use these for, but maybe some sort of workout equipment. I'm not sure. And then our water heater here. The whole house is electric, so this is electric, and doesn't have a date, but my guess is just original to the build. This house is not very old. Oh wait, there's a sticker down here. Does it say? No. No manufacturer date on that, but and then you have 2 outlets, and then of course your ledge here, so all of this would be extra storage, and I think the truck would fit in here. I think the door is a little higher than most, and then yeah, I think the truck and SUV would fit in here really well. And you have a light as well as the light on the actual garage door opener. Well, I don't think the light's working on the garage door opener, but you have a switch and the light on the garage door opener. And then, let's see, so we go through the hallway, small art niche here, and then it opens up into your kitchen, dining, living. We've got bathroom, bedroom, and our AC closet here. So again, this one doesn't have a date either, already looked, but I believe it's probably original to the build. And then, I don't know what this guy is. Whole house ventilation control. It's switched to off, but I think that's why there's like some extra sealant is, I think they did a little bit of an upgrade to it at one point. It still has 2 drain lines and the safety switch right here. And then your filter is the big one, so instead of like every month, you would probably change it every quarter, unless it just happens to get... Sorry, I got distracted. So, do all the doors have that? Okay, unless your filter just happens to get dirty quickly. Let me show you what I was getting distracted by. So these are ventilation on the door so that you can get better airflow in the bedrooms. Sometimes they'll have a return vent in the bedroom, and then these, they did it on the bottom of the door. So this is spare room number 1. Kind of smaller, probably like a 10 by 10, but you could get a queen size bed in this little nook here, and it would probably come out to, I don't know, maybe like there. So you still have a good amount of walking space. You could get a king size bed on this wall, but it's probably gonna come out to like here, so you don't have a ton of walking space this way. It's slightly longer than it is wide. And then the closet's kind of nice. They added this, I believe. So you've got 1 like tall rack and 2 short racks. And there is a light, I just didn't turn it on. But it's lit. And they have their security on all the windows already in place. These are the nice windows that open inward. Tall ceilings pretty much throughout the entire home, and all the rooms have ceiling fans. So office, bedrooms, everything. This room is larger. More of a square than a rectangle, so you have a good amount of space to put a bed there or here. The reason I say here is because 2 outlets, and then here is your coaxial cable. Closet is like the full wall closet, so even a little bit more space, I would say, than the one that you can walk into. Maybe this one's 10 by 11 and that one's 10 by 10. I'll go back and look and see if they put the room measurements on the listing. This is our guest bath. We have tile surround and a fiberglass tub, and just like your single sink vanity, 48 inch. This would be 48 inches wide. You've got 1 plug. And behind the door we have a pretty deep, actually fairly large linen storage. And tile flooring in here, so the walls match the floors. It doesn't have the finish out piece, although the edge is fully painted, so it looks nice and finished out. Shower head, decent height, probably 6 feet. And then my favorite part is the kitchen. Love the placement of the fridge, a little coffee nook area. They don't wobble, but they're not soft close. Corner pantry, really nice corner pantry. deeper shelves. It does have a light. I just didn't turn it on. There's a filter for the refrigerator, probably. Maybe not. This might be, no, there's not reverse osmosis. Yeah, I think that's for the refrigerator. I don't know, they got a sticker over it. I can't really tell what it's for. And then, so that would be the light switch for the pantry. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outlets. Oh, let's see. Is our microwave vented out? It is. And then the sink and dishwasher are in your island. And disposal in here. Where's our switch for the disposal? What? Oh, it might be the button on the sink. Yeah, I think that's what that is. It's the button. Now the sink is 2, and they're, I don't know if this is width or depth, but this way's larger, I feel like, than most. This way's pretty standard, and it's the shallow, like 8-inch, but that could easily be switched out if you don't like this. And then another outlet, 2. So 3 outlets on the island. Only this little area really has space for stools, probably 2 at most. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 outlets in the kitchen. These lights are on a separate light from these 2, as well as these 2. So you can make it really bright or kind of have it a little bit more dim. And then this window is a bay window. It's probably not a full foot, maybe like 8 or 10 inches, but it is nice. Maybe it is a full foot if you go from window all the way to the ledge. This is some sort of scent thing, so it does smell really nice in here. A little overpowering if you ask me, but I'm not big on scents. But it doesn't have any like bad scents, dog scents, anything like that. And they only have a small table here, but there's plenty of room. You could have a table as big as this rug and not feel like it's too big. There's plenty of room for a larger table here. And then this is kind of cool. So this is probably set back maybe about 4 feet. And so you can really tuck in your entertainment system here, and it won't get in the way of the door. I don't know, I kind of like that. Even if you did it the other way around and tucked your couch in there, you could. Nice big space. I mean, they have really small furniture in here, so it kind of makes it look even bigger. But you could have a massive sofa in there. I just saw this water. Where could that have come from? I don't see any leaks on the roof. That's bizarre. Okay, I will do some more digging on where that could have come from. I guess it could have come from the back door, but that's good to know. You could have a really awesome, big, huge entertainment system here. This is tripping me out. I think it might have come from here because there's water on this threshold right here. It does have the roof line extended, like the soffit. There's standing water right there. Let me go get my shoes and I can go back out here. But you can see there's a little gap right here, probably like thickness of a nickel or a quarter. Oh, I'm letting the flies in. Okay, I'm gonna get the primary and then I'm gonna get my shoes and go out there. That's a large puddle of water. And this is why we tour houses when it rains. Another little art nook here. Going into the primary. Right off the door to the room is your French doors into your bathroom. And so we have a double vanity with just the doors. We've got an outlet here and an outlet here. There is no door to the toilet room, but I believe this is probably the size of a door and it's set pretty far back. So if you wanted to do a door, it could swing in and you would have plenty of space to turn that into an actual door frame. I don't know what this is. It's not a Formica, it's not a granite or a quartz, but it is, kind of feels like an engineered stone. Big garden tub. This is smaller than the garden tub at Sonoma. So not, I wouldn't say it's quite full size. And then a big picture frame window that has the textured glass so you can't see in. And then our standing shower. This is probably your 3x3 size. We do have a product shelf and we do have a tall shower head. Sounds like water's dripping. Might just be onto the roof, like from a tree or something. This is our primary closet. I hear water dripping, sorry. More security, no. This is AT&T. Now, there's a shelf back here. And let's see. I can fit, sort of. But if there was a hanger here, and I don't even know if you can see me, if there was a hanger here, and you know, the hanger coming out, it would be kind of hard to get to all that stuff. So that would be like the clothes you never wear, you know? But a good amount of closet space here. There's no water there, no water there. Okay. Now, let me show you the bedroom. Almost walked out of here before even showing you this. This is a king size bed. No. Yeah, no, this is a queen size bed with nightstands, but there's still plenty of space on either side where you could get a king and have really decent sized nightstands. What's kind of nice is that if somebody like opens your door and you're not decent and you're like tucked back here or whatever, like people can't because you have to go down a hallway, and then there's the bed. Like, no one's going to accidentally walk in on you while you're changing or getting dressed or, anything like that. Like, you have a good amount of privacy with your bed tucked back this way. You could also, this is your coaxial cable, so if you wanted your TV on this wall and your bed on this wall, you would still have a good amount of privacy. King size bed could fit there with your nightstands under the window. I think I kind of like this though. It feels like it gives you a lot more walking space around, and then your dresser with your TV would still, give you a ton of walking space here. It would not overcrowd the room. This is a really nice size room. You could put a bed on this wall too. Plenty of space. Less outlets, but plenty of space because you only have the one outlet. And then there's another outlet over there and another outlet right here, which kind of odd locations, but just, extra in case you need it. All right, let me go get my shoes and then we can go outside and I will check out the backyard. Sorry. There is a dog door. I don't think that's big enough for your dogs, but there's a dog door here. All right. Let's see. Yep. Okay. When I pushed on the floor, this little dribble of water came up. So I do think it came in from that, which I guess means this is sloping inward. I don't know. It doesn't really look like it is. It's a big step down. I guess I'm shocked because the height of this is so high and it doesn't seem like it's sloped in, but I don't see any other way that water could have gotten in there. And there's a big, okay. So this is the yard. Fence needs a little bit of work. There's holes there, hole there. This will be a hole soon if it's not already. Oh yeah, it is a hole. They have some piece of metal keeping that together. Okay. So sloshy. Yeah, the fence line is like in line with the back of the house. There's a little muddy pit there. I wonder if they had a shed or something right there. And then this is the best side to come on and off of the patio. And this is the other thing that kind of has me like so bamboozled because there's separation here. Well, it's full of leaves and stuff, so I guess in theory it didn't have to go far to get maybe just a couple of inches to get up to the level of the door. And you can kind of see right there where it's probably done it before. All right, well, this is a long video, but I think that's everything on this one.